Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. So in today's clip I want to spend a little bit of time talking about my top 3 favorite accessories for the brand new DJI Mavic Pro. Now I've been lucky enough to have this drone for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I've been flying it as much as I can in that time frame, and I've really looked at, as I do with all my quads, ways that I can improve that flight experience. So maybe making things a little bit safer, a little bit more fun, maybe extending the flight day a little bit by adding an accessory here and there. And with the Mavic, I have to be honest, unlike a lot of the quads that I fly, it was almost a near perfect drone out of the box. I mean, they've really engineered this thing to be durable and flexible and portable and sexy. I can call it sexy. Unlike a lot of the drones that I review that have things that need to be tweaked out of the box, this one you pretty much power it up and fly it, and it flies like a dream. So anybody that's flown this knows what I'm talking about. To me, it is an incredible achievement from an engineering perspective. And I know I sound like a fanboy here, but honestly, if I'm going to be a fanboy about anything, put me on record about being a fanboy for this Mavic Pro. It is really built to be that great a product. So having said that, it was a challenge for me to find things that I could add to it to improve that flight experience. But the more I thought about it, there were things that I've used in other quads that I thought would apply to the Mavic as well. So I picked the top 3 that I've been using for the last couple of weeks, and I thought I'd talk about those first. Now, I will do other clips to cover some of the other accessories that I'm evaluating currently, but these 3 are the ones that I've used for the last couple of weeks that I think you would find some value in. Now, having said that, I'm not like a lot of the guys out there that'll just grab an accessory, get up in front of a camera and start talking about it. I really want to spend time with the accessories. I want to test them against other manufacturers of accessories so that I'm sure that when I recommend something, it's something I find value in that I'm hoping you'll find value in. So if it works for me, I'm assuming it'll work for you. So these 3 are things that I've checked against all the other accessories that are out there and really pick these as what I consider to be best of breed. Now, having said that, I'll put some links below where you can find them on our website. You can find them on Amazon. I'm sure if you search the web, you can probably find them on a bunch of websites out there, but just for simplicity, I'll put them below so you can find them and take a look at them. The first one I'm going to talk about, which is probably the only complaint that I've got on the Mavic, and it's a minor complaint, is the ground clearance. And I've talked about this in other clips as well. The Mavic, because of its small size, has a real issue with ground clearance. When that thing lands, it lands extremely close to the ground. So what that means is if you're going to land it in a field where there's grass or tall weeds, that Mavic's going to come down, the bottom of it's going to touch that grass or the weeds, the gimbal's going to touch it. If that grass is wet at all, it's going to transfer the water and the moisture over to the gimbal assembly. That whole thing scares me. So second flight on this thing, I realized, my gosh, there's no ground clearance on this thing. I'm sure hoping a company's going to come out with accessories to sort of lift it off the ground a little bit taller. Even if you land it in an area where you've got flat ground on a sidewalk or in a parking lot, because of the prop wash, because the props are so close to the ground, they're going to kick up all that dust and sand and debris into the air. And as I've mentioned in other clips, the cooling system on the Mavic vacuums in the air from the front behind the gimbal, and it's going to pick up all that dust and grit and pull it inside the Mavic. So both of those scenarios make it an almost impossible drone to land without a landing mat. So I thought, let me wait a couple of weeks and see if companies come out, because there's a ton of companies that make accessories with some type of ground clearance kit or leg extension kit. And sure enough, about 3 weeks after the Mavic hit, there were 4 or 5 kits out there. So what I thought I'd do is go out and buy them all. So I bought them all, brought 5 kits in, and started flying with them and comparing them against each other. Now what I found with some of the kits were they attached to the Mavic as a permanent addition. I don't want to do that, because if the Mavic is built to be small and portable, I don't want to start, attaching, gluing on these legs and these wonky accessories on there. Other ones didn't attach firmly at all. So I'd put them on there, I'd fly it, and then one would pop off, a leg would pop off, or the back would come loose. So that scared me, because if I put it up, I got to make sure that it hangs onto the accessories, because then how do I land it if I'm missing a leg extension? So the one I settled on is really a nice little kit where it's small, you can pull it off real quick, you can put it on real quick. It's a very easy kit to use, and it's very inexpensive compared to the other kits. It doesn't have any impact on your flight characteristics, so the aerodynamics are not modified. It doesn't impact your crash avoidance systems or your ultrasonic sensors on the bottom like some of the other kits did. So the kit I'm showing you now is the one that I settled on. And again, it's an inexpensive kit. It takes about 15 seconds to snap it on the Mavic. When you're done for the day, it takes another 15 seconds to pull it off and throw it in your bag. Those 4 components, there are 2 extensions for the front legs and 1 U-shaped extension for the back that just snaps onto the back rubber feet. Again, it's got all the components that I like in an accessory. It's inexpensive, it's easy to use, and it's very, very functional. So this on your Mavic will give you about another 2 inches of clearance, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to sort of keep you out of the grass and out of the dirt and sand that you would normally land in without that type of kit. So this is the one that I'm recommending. Again, a very inexpensive accessory that I think would really enhance your flying experience. The second thing I'll talk about is a car charger for the Mavic. Now, a lot of the cars today have AC outlets in there where you can take your home charger with you and plug it in the car and charge up your batteries. If you have that, then you can use that, and that's great. But if you don't have that, a car charger is, again, another fairly inexpensive accessory that you can add to your kit that allows you to charge your Mavic batteries while you're driving to a location. And why I find this really valuable for me is that I don't want to travel with 6 batteries. So if I travel with 3 batteries, I can be flying with one, I can be charging one and have another fresh one ready to go. And the reason that's important to me is because a lot of the times I fly, I have to drive to a particular location to actually fly. So I'm going to some point of interest that may be a 45-minute or an hour drive away. If I drive there with 3 batteries, I get about an hour's flight time out of that. So the day is pretty short because I'm out of battery at that point and have to come home. So by having the car charger, it pretty much guarantees that I can fly continuously, because I can always have one charging as I'm flying with one and one in the bag as a spare. So the car charger is a really easy thing to use to sort of top off your batteries when you're out in the field. Now the car charger I'm showing you here, it could not be simpler to use. Just plugs into a standard 12-volt outlet in your car. The other end's got the perfect connection for your Mavic batteries. It's a custom connection. Connect that to your battery, it'll charge it in about the same amount of time that your home charger would charge it. You can use a charging hub with it as well, and the charging hub that comes with the Mavic, or you can buy as an accessory, will charge each battery individually. So I like using that because when I'm done at one location and I decide to drive to another location, I can be charging the batteries in the back seat while I'm driving, which is really, really handy. This charger also has all the protections you'd expect, so it's got overcurrent protection and overvoltage protection. A lot of them out there don't have that, so if you're looking at a car charger, be careful that it's got that built in, because even though the Mavic battery is intelligent and will sort of prevent overcharging and overvoltage protection, I like to have it in the charger as well, so this one handles all those problems for you. All right, so the third accessory I'm going to talk about has to do with range extenders. Now, the Mavic itself, with the OcuSync technology, will let you fly 4 miles or better. Now that's insanely far, right? That's well beyond visual line of sight. But even still, that 4-mile distance isn't enough sometimes when you're flying in close, because even though you can get the distance out of it, my challenge is if I'm flying in an environment where it's really, really noisy. So I'm flying around homes, or I'm flying in an area where there's a lot of Wi-Fi interference or power lines or something, sometimes I could have sketchy video or sketchy control even within a couple thousand feet. So what these range extenders do, and these are just the parabolic range extenders, they're passive range extenders, is they allow you to sort of concentrate that signal, the majority of your signal, out towards the drone. So it throws that signal downfield. Now I've had versions of these out for the Phantom 2, Phantom 3, Phantom 4. These are exactly the same things, but they're custom built for the Mavic. So they're built to have that parabolic curve that flatters that signal and sends it downfield for you. And where I find those extremely valuable, even though they'll extend your distance even further, and I found about a 50% boost, and I've done tests on my channel with the ones for the Phantom 4 before. I don't care so much that I want to go 5 miles or 5.5 miles. What I care more about is when I'm flying in close, to have that extra kick of signal, extra boost of signal, to make sure that if I'm flying behind a tree or behind a building, that I'm not going to have blackouts in that connection. So I like these, again, because they're inexpensive, they're extremely easy to use. You just pull them out, open them up, and slide them down over the antennas. When you're done for the day, pull them off your antenna, fold them up. They even fold into a clamshell, so they're very small. You throw them in your bag, and that way you have them when you need them. I don't always use them if I'm out in an open field or I'm at the beach, where I don't have any issues with blockage of signals. I don't use them, but having them with me to use them when I need them is really, really handy. So those are a great addition to any kit. And again, these are all fairly inexpensive accessories that you may find a need for. You may like them, you may not like them, it's up to you, but I thought I'd do a quick overview clip to let you know that I've been using these 3 for the last couple of weeks, and they've been working out really, really well for me. So that's all I had for today. Now again, there are a ton of other accessories that I'm working on. I've got some tablet holders that I'm evaluating, some cases, a bunch of other technology, and over the next couple of weeks I'll release some clips that explain those a little bit more in depth. But for now, these are the 3 that are at the top of my list. And again, as always, if you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments below. I'll answer all the questions I can. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. That's always inspirational to me to see people that like these clips. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. A lot of times when I'm talking to manufacturers about reviewing their products, they'll say, well, how many subscribers do you have? So the more you have, the better it looks for the manufacturer. So if you like the channel and you like what I'm doing for you, please support me by subscribing to the channel. And that's pretty much all I had today. So again, thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you find value in these clips, and we'll see you soon. So happy flying.